Hi, if you have a tight or tense pelvic floor, this 5-minute routine for pelvic health is going to be really wonderful to incorporate into your daily routine. My name is Jessica with Mama Shakti Prenatal. Mama Shakti means Mama Power. This is great work in preparation for birth. However, anybody can do this. Men, women, if you have tension in the pelvic floor, this will help lengthen some of those pelvic floor muscles, especially the ones that we will utilize the most during birth, that we want to yield the most. So if these muscles here are tight, we've got 3 muscles that I've kind of outlined. The pink ones are the bulbar cavernosa muscles, the red ones are the levator ani, and the white ones are the deep transverse perineal muscles. Now, if these are holding tension in preparation for labor, it's going to be hard for baby to descend through the birth canal. So we want to try and find some movement for these muscles that will lengthen those muscles as much as possible so they can yield and move out of the way as baby descends down through the pelvis and then through the birth canal. So again, this practice is great for anyone who has tension in the pelvic floor, but especially great in preparation for birth, as it will help bring awareness to our pelvic floor muscles, and it will help lengthen them and bring some relaxation and some softness in preparation for birth. So we know that it's fantastic to work on strengthening those pelvic floor muscles, but we also want to find those actions, those routines, those breath practices that bring about some softness. So the first thing we're going to do is a 1.5-minute breath technique that also helps us bring some awareness of the contracting and then the releasing of the pelvic floor muscles. If it's not comfortable to sit on your knees like this, you can sit on the edge of a hard or firm chair or workout bench and put this squishy ball right beneath your pelvic floor. So if you do not have a squishy ball, you can also use a rolled up hand towel, rolled up like a burrito. The squishy ball, though, has some give. So you can feel when the pelvic floor muscles contract and lift away from the ball, and then you can feel when they soften or relax and kind of melt over the ball. That's why I really like to use these physio balls or Pilates balls for things like pelvic floor awareness. So we're going to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Kind of like a diaphragm breath. As we inhale, we're going to really work on expanding the diaphragm, the ribs, the belly. And as we exhale, we're just gently going to hug the belly in toward the spine. As we inhale, we're going to feel the pelvic floor muscles soften and relax over the ball. And as we exhale, we kind of feel them lift away from the ball as they come up and in. So we're going to breathe together for a minute, and I'll guide you through this breath practice. So finding that comfortable, sustainable seated position, whether it be seated on your knees or seated on the edge of a chair or bench. We're going to take a cleansing breath in through nose, out through mouth. Very nice. Now we're going to start breathing in through nose, and as you inhale, you expand through ribs, you expand through belly, and you feel the pelvic floor muscles soften. And then as we exhale, we gently squeeze and lift the pelvic floors up and hug the belly in toward the spine. Inhale, expand and soften. Expand those pelvic floor muscles. Exhale, up and in. Inhale, out and expand. Exhale, up and in. Inhale, soften, expand. Exhale, up and in. Inhale, exhale. 3 more breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last one. Inhale, soften, expand, and exhale, gently hug up and in. Very good, and relax everything. So even 1.5 minutes of that breathing for pelvic floor awareness every day can really increase the efficacy in which your pelvic floors can not only contract, but in which they can relax. And you will really be able to notice the difference between a pelvic floor contraction and being able to soften those muscles to allow them to yield, to move out of the way for baby. The second exercise we're going to do is a pelvic tilt exercise. You can do this seated on the floor, seated on a bench, seated on a birth ball. You can do this in an all fours tabletop. So that's what we're going to do today, is we're going to do an all fours tabletop, since everybody has access to just being on all fours. So this is different than a cat-cow, because in a cat-cow we roll our whole spine from neck down to tailbone. But in this one, we're going to work on tucking tail, releasing tail. So see how my mid to upper back isn't really moving, it's just my pelvis. So we're going to work on this movement. So as we untuck that tail and our belly really drops, we're going to inhale, and then as we tuck, exhale. Let's do 5 more. Inhale, exhale, inhale nose, exhale mouth, inhale nose, exhale mouth, inhale nose, exhale mouth. Last one, inhale, untuck, and exhale, tuck. And then release. Very nice. The next exercise we're going to do are some TikToks. So those arms behind you for support, they can be called TikToks, they can be called 90-90s, they can be called Z's. So I've heard them called a bunch of different things, and we're just going to let the knees lift up and drop over to the other side. Now, if this is super, super easy for you, you can also add an arm and do a sweeping movement to really move that rib cage and open up that side body too. So that might feel really nice for you. And we're going to do a minute of these. So let's do 3 more breaths, and just allow your breath to flow with the movement in whatever way feels really nice and supportive for you. 1 more breath. And that's it. So set your timer on your phone and allow yourself to do a minute or more. If you only have 5 minutes, this practice is great for that. But if you have more time, fantastic. And you can do each one of these exercises for 2 or 3 minutes. The very last thing we're going to do is a supported child's pose. So we're going to let those big toes come together and drop our hips back by our heels. And we're going to fold over a ball, the edge of our sofa. If it's comfortable to come all the way down to the ground, you can, but if you are pregnant and you find that your belly does not allow for that, find support with a ball, with a few pillows, with your couch, and focus on that same in through nose, out through mouth breath, and see if you can feel as you inhale, your pelvic floor softens. As you exhale, it gently lifts up. We're not working on finding a really strong contraction in this, because we're mostly just working on lengthening those pelvic floor muscles and relaxing. So you can notice if there's any movement, but you don't have to actively try and contract those pelvic floors. And if it feels nice, you can even rock a little bit. This is a really great, beautiful, relaxing posture when you're in early labor. And I recommend doing all of these activities throughout pregnancy, during labor, and when you're ready in your postpartum. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Jessica with Mama Shakti Prenatal. Mama Shakti means Mama Power. You can find more practices like these linked in my course below.